We're back at it again with another Battlefront update. August is finally here, and that means the drought for Battlefront content is about to end very soon. As for what content we will be getting next and what DICE are currently working on, then funny enough, we actually this week learned of the list of what features they're currently prioritizing and what we should expect to be seeing in the game sometime soon. In addition to that, we'll also be touching on Clone Commandos, which have been in the limelight lately for all the wrong reasons, as we'll talk about DICE's recent official stance on hacking in Battlefront 2, and the community calendar for August that was released today. And before we get into any of that, but a quick reminder, as if you do like these type of videos, then do remember to give it a like to show your support for not only this update series, but also the content within it. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So the latest community survey for July is behind us, and we now know the results on what features the community want DICE to focus on. And if you're hearing this and going to yourself, okay, but wait, what's a community survey? Then it's a survey DICE has players do each month to see what people currently think about Battlefront 2 and what they would like DICE to add. And before you go, oh, that's one of those dumb waste of time surveys, who cares about that? I tell DICE all the time what I want to see on Twitter or Reddit. And well, that's just it, because DICE actually take these surveys very seriously, and it's what helps them focus on what features they should prioritize over others. And I'm saying this all for a reason, because the results from the latest survey, let's just say not everyone will be completely happy to hear them. As according to Ben Walk, the top 4 content requests by the community were large-scale maps, heroes, quality of life changes, and reinforcements. And for the most part, these are very good requests. We all love large-scale maps because that's what Battlefront is all about. New heroes are nice, but they do take long to make. Besides, we already know we've got Ahsoka and Ventress next in the pipeline. And this month especially, I've been seeing more people lately say how they want DICE to fix the game first before dropping new heroes into the mix. Which of course, that's where quality of life changes come in. And honestly, with how buggy the game has been in July, I'm surprised this wasn't at the very least in the top 2. Kind of interesting and astonishing at the same time how people would choose to pick new heroes over fixes with the buggy state the game is currently in. As for the reinforcements, well, ever since March with the introduction of the ARC Troopers and the Droid Commandos, this feature has been gaining rapid popularity, and for good reason. With more reinforcement options, the games feel much more dynamic and interesting, especially now with the recent added droidicas too. This of course has got people hungry for even more, and with Clone Commandos still expected to come, then people should be very satisfied on this front. And well, that's where the good news kind of ends here, because when people asked Ben if Starfighter Assault and Extraction would be getting new maps anytime soon, then Ben didn't really say no, but instead just said the harsh truth that Starfighter Assault was at the bottom of the list, while smaller scale maps like Extraction were second bottom, ouch. Meaning that for DICE, they don't see any demand in these areas, which is why they won't be wasting any time and resources with their modest-sized dev team in creating new content for those modes. Like I said before, DICE used the survey results to map out what they should prioritize in getting done, and only the top voted options get to see the light of day from DICE, which is why DICE are now focused only on large-scale maps like Felucia, new heroes like Ahsoka and Ventress, bug fixes in the next update, and new reinforcements like Clone Commandos. Meanwhile, modes like Starfighter Assault and Extraction will continue to remain stagnant because in DICE's eyes, why work on something people don't care about? And honestly, I'm not surprised. I stopped playing Starfighter Assault already back last year when I got bored of the same old maps we've had since 2017. Not to mention the numerous game-breaking bugs that riddled the mode to the point it was unplayable. Yeah, not a great experience overall, and it wasn't that much different with Extraction either. As while that mode was fun for the first week or so, I also got bored of it too. Actually even more so because it only has 2 maps in total. which I still think is ridiculous, but moving on. I'm sure without a doubt many other players feel the same way about this too, which is why not many people play these modes and they rarely get any votes in the surveys too. Then again, it could also be argued that it was because of DICE's own negligence for these modes, which is the reason people don't care about them now. Jay Ingram actually admitted that this definitely plays a part, but had his own explanation on the matter, saying, "Part of it is that the population for the mode has never been very high, even at release of the mode. It spiked and then dropped very fast, since most people wanted to play HVV and then GA and now CS. Halo 3 saw the same issue when they started adding a whole bunch of modes, and Halo Reach addressed it by putting said modes into a single playlist. We're currently discussing things like that. Just adding stuff to it won't bolster the player base enough." Which to some degree I can agree with Jay here, but regardless, I still find it a real bummer for all the new players especially who got the game recently, and they can't really experience these fun modes because not many people play them, especially now. And guess what, the bad news doesn't quite stop there yet, as weapons, yes, even weapons, are also low on DICE's priority list due to the low number of votes they got on the survey. Which means that, unfortunately, don't be expecting on DICE to make or port any new weapons over from Battlefront 2015 anytime soon. Suffice to say, this news didn't go over too well with some people, which Ben Walk later tweeted, "Weapons actually came below other things. Just because results don't match your own beliefs doesn't mean it's any less true or valid." And as you can imagine, he only got even more angrier responses after tweeting that out. One person even suggested that Ben was twisting the narrative because we don't see any statistics to back up his claim, and to be fair, we don't. Jumping into conspiracy theory territory, DICE have never, from my knowledge, ever released such statistics from their surveys, and we only have to believe what we're told by the community team, which can be a bit iffy at times, like for example when Ben Walk claimed that DICE did in-game polls to see what people want, saying, "We do actually do polls in-game, they do happen every now and then. Supplement these with what we see from within the community and what we want to do, and we have a good idea of the path to go down." And I don't know about you, but in all the years I've been playing the game, I've never seen a single in-game poll, and neither did anyone else who responded to Ben's claims here, with some skeptical people even asking if he could provide a screenshot of this as proof. But Ben never did respond back to any of those questions. So I guess we'll never really know the truth behind these mythic in-game polls. But yeah, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, then what Ben said here is perfect fuel for the fire, as DICE are already in the process of making content for the top 4 requested areas from the survey, which some may argue is only a coincidence, while others could say that DICE are faking the survey results to fit what they want to make. Hard to say, but I doubt we'll ever really know, unless someone like some_info rats them out. Either way, I'm fine with the survey results, but I do hate to see how weapons, Starfighter Assault, and Extraction Mode are obviously getting ignored. So I can very much understand how fans of those must be feeling right now. Moving over to the next topic at hand, I really want to touch this whole question mark people have started to have regarding Clone Commandos. Lately, even on my own Discord server, I've been seeing some pessimism on if Clone Commandos are even coming anymore, with some people starting to think that because we haven't had any updates on them lately, that must mean that DICE aren't working on them anymore and have scrapped the Commandos off their list. And all I have to say to this is just how amazed I am with the lack of patience some people have to say something like that. Just because we haven't heard anything new in July on Clone Commandos, that should in no way mean that DICE have scrapped them. For starters, we haven't heard much, if anything, from DICE on a number of other topics in July as well, mainly because they have been away on vacation. So I don't really understand why people are now getting paranoid about Clone Commandos not coming out, when they really have no reason to feel that way. Before July, we've had a steady drop of leaks and data mine discoveries to suggest that Clone Commandos are in the works. And just because 1 month that all happened to end doesn't mean it's the end-all be-all for Commandos. No, if anything, this is very normal for DICE, as they typically tend to stay quiet on new reinforcements and then release them without warning. They dropped ARC Troopers and Droid Commandos in March as a surprise addition to Capital Supremacy, and then brought Droidekas and the Saber Tank in June with, again, no leaks or anything telling us about that beforehand. Well, maybe some teases for the Droideka, but the Saber Tank was completely out of the blue. Also a comment from J. Ingram from a while back, which I only found out about recently. He openly states about Clone Commandos coming to the game and at that time being a counter to Droidekas. And also confirming my theory from before, as in that statement he reveals that the reason DICE didn't go with Clone Commandos at first was because they took too long to make, and there were still some questions regarding their canon elements. So there was no sense in delaying reinforcements just for Clone Commandos when ARC Troopers were faster to make and checked a ton of boxes already. And considering how DICE also has something in the works right now for all 4 of the survey's top requested features, then I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that Clone Commandos are still being developed. Let's not also forget that Ben has been teasing about Clone Commandos for a while now too, suggesting that they are his new favorite reinforcement class. Even recently, when he was asked about what he thought about the Droidekas, he said that they were fun, but he will let people know what his favorite is once the prophecy is complete. And if you're confused by what he means by this, it's a throwback to his previous tease for Clone Commandos, where he said he was still waiting for one particular reinforcement that he's really excited about. But it hasn't been released yet due to delays, and he will let everyone know once he's able to openly talk about it, or in his words, once the prophecy has been fulfilled. And so far, we definitely know for sure he's not talking about the Droid Commandos, the Saber Tank, or the Droidekas. And based on his Twitter banner where he had Clone Commandos back in March, it only seems to point that's what he was talking about. And who knows, probably even expected and wanted them to come out then, but as we know now, they were taking too long and we got ARC Troopers instead, just so new reinforcements wouldn't be delayed on account of Clone Commandos. For me, the only question is, what will the Separatists get as a new reinforcement, as we had no leaks to suggest what that could be. Personally, I could see it being a vehicle type of droid to make up for the Saber Tank that the Republic got before. And that could be either a Hailfire class droid tank or a Dwarf Spider droid, both of which already appear in the game as unplayable units. There's also the Homing Spider droid, but I think that's a little bit too big for a reinforcement. It would be like the Separatist version of the Republic's ATT. Next, if you're a Battlefront 2 player on the PC, then you're no stranger to hackers. If the bugs and the glitches weren't already an issue, PC players also have to consistently worry about hackers ruining their games of infinite health hacks and one-shot killing everyone on the other team. This issue has been going on for a long time now, and PC players are especially fed up with DICE's lack of response to dealing with these said hackers. Benwalk recently chimed in on DICE's current efforts against PC hacking and revealed that steps are now being taken to fight against hackers. On Reddit, he said, "We've responded before, it's a very legal gray area that limits what I can and can't say. There is stuff happening on this front, is all I can say." He then went on to continue, "I can't comment on individual cases, but I will say that the wrongfully banned aren't as innocent as they make out to be. The one thing I don't want to do is to detail what we are doing and when, as that just tips people off." And when asked if the reasons he isn't telling anyone what DICE are doing, as if he can't comment or won't comment, Ben replied, "Can't, I tiptoe across the line at times, but this is one that I cannot break, I'm afraid." So while it is a shame that we can't learn what steps DICE are taking to fight or prevent hacking in Battlefront 2 on the PC, it does make sense on why Ben can't reveal too much on what they're doing, as that will only tip off the hackers and make it easier for them to work against DICE's efforts here. With that said, it is promising to see that DICE are now finally doing something about the crazy hacker problem that the PC players have to deal with on a daily basis. As for why they waited this long to finally do something, well, that's probably an answer for a different time and video. Lastly, DICE did release the community calendar for August today, which showcases the in-game events that will be ongoing for the month. From August 2nd to the 4th, there will be a Battle Point event for reinforcements, costing 75 less in Galactic Assault and Capital Supremacy. 9th to 11th will be vehicles costing 75% less in the same modes, and 16th to 18th will be a Hero Unleashed event in those said modes as well. Then 20th to the 25th will be a Triple XP event during Gamescom, where I can only assume DICE will be showcasing the new PvE content there to the masses, as why would they have a whole in-game event around Gamescom if they're not at Gamescom? Finally, 30th to September 1st is a HVV event for lightsaber-wielding characters. And in addition to all of this, we still have a few events ongoing from July that aren't shown here, so it looks like August is going to be a pretty packed month in terms of things to do in the game. And yeah, do keep in mind that this is only a community calendar, so it's not showing what type of new content we're getting in August. That's going to be a community transmission, which we should be getting real soon now. But that'll do it for this Battlefront update. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel to not only support it, but keep up with Star Wars news, gaming, and canon lore released every week. And consider following me on Twitter and Facebook to never miss out on the latest Star Wars related content. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.